All right, Ames.
Well, wait, why did he lose his season tickets?
Okay, so I've got the story. So let me pull this up. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
For those
Now
that
that you
don't,
gave that background, I remember.
so
Yes. Yep.
that guy there in the silver hat, not the
Yep.
not the lion. So if you're looking at the video, I'm sorry we don't have an engineer here today because we're going early. So I'm just pulling that picture up on my phone. But that is Paul. His name is Pavel, Pawel, Jan, but everyone called him Paul. And so there's a story I read today. Super fan Paul Jan, 25-year season ticket holder, has had his tickets revoked by the club. He had 8 tickets in the corner end zone, row 16, which he would sell in order to upgrade to front row seats. So if you ever see Paul, he goes to every away game, he
Mm-hmm.
goes to playoff games, and he has for years. And he's in the front row dressed like that. He's got his dog with him and his fiance, cutest little thing. Paul's like 5 foot nothing. He's hilarious. And he's got this adorable girlfriend and this dog that goes, a service dog, in
Okay.
stadiums with him all the time. It's fucking awesome. And he's as legit um, uh, a Lions football fan as you will ever find. I met him when I was living in Royal Oak. I would go to a salon, Palazola, in off Main Street or off Washington, one of those. And he was young. He was early 20s and working there. And the women that were going to those salons in Royal Oak, Paul was the cat's ass. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's the, and I just stumbled in there like I got to get a haircut, and they're like, "Oh, see Paul," and I'm like, "I don't want a dude cutting my hair." They're like, "Paul's fucking great." I sit down, and Paul is like, "So you a football fan?" And we hit it off, Lions football. Like this guy knows X's and O's. He's like me talking to half fans. Like it drives me nuts when it's like, okay, I didn't realize you didn't know anything about football. Cool.
Right.
But Paul was one of those that's like, this dude absolutely knows his shit. And so I would have a blast talking to him. And then I would just walk from my apartment or townhouse over to Palazola and Royal Oak. And hey, there's Paul. And at one point, a lot of the Lions players were living in those condos in
Mm-hmm.
that
The
Royal
Stafford.
Oak area. Matt Stafford lived there.
Mm-hmm.
Dominican Sue lived there. And
Mm-hmm.
Matt Stafford wandered in there one day and they're like, Paul cut your hair. And so Paul got to cut Matt Stafford's hair, and it was like, dude, you're
Right.
not gonna believe this. Fucking Paul also used to be a partier and a drinker, and I was doing those titty bar gigs
Yeah.
back in the day, and I was like, dude, you should roll with us. I'll have the limo pick you up and come with us. And I'm like, I got a tab there. They cover it, and they would cover it for like a couple $100. And I go there with Paul to the titty bar, and he's gone. He's off somewhere and I'm like, oh, there's a pool table over there. There's darts. There's, I don't know where he is. Well, he was hitting every table in the bar with all the girls and buying them all shots because we had an open tab. And he ran up like at $800 in an hour.
Oh my God.
And so it became this. They're like, dude, you have like $150, $200 drink tab for yourself and a friend. Like, no, it wasn't meant for this idiot to come in here and fucking buy shots for all of the girls.
Yeah.
And so I think I ended up paying like $400 and they ate for whatever. And we laugh about it now, but that's who that guy is. But he's the one that was like, hey, this buddy of mine wants to get into radio. And I was like, yeah, I'll interview him. And I interviewed, 100 kids over the years. And that turned out to be Jim Bentley. They went to high school together. So, if you've seen him, he's in like M Live always has pictures of him. He's always shown on TV. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but he's the real deal. He's a real football fan. I've seen some of these people, they dress up certain ways and I can watch them in the stadium and they love taking pictures with fans. They're not watching the game. They don't
Mm-hmm.
give a shit. You see it with the guy dressed as the Grinch every year and he gets off on being in photos with all the kids. Like, and so he's not one of those fans. He's
Yeah.
like died. He's real deal. So he now is a resident in Philadelphia. This is part of the story. He owns his own salon in Philadelphia now. So
Okay.
that's what he's doing there. Attending games in Detroit as well as traveling on the road to most away games. It's come at a major cost. He spent $55,000 last year in order to attend most of the team's games. This includes tickets, flights, hotel rooms, food and drink, and merch. By selling the tickets that he's got in Detroit, he's able to offset some of those costs.
Yeah.
He recognizes that by selling the majority of his season tickets that he's in violation of ticket policies. However, he's been doing it for years when the team wasn't very good and the club was begging for people to purchase tickets. NFL teams are starting to scrutinize season ticket holders more closely as the teams look to maximize profits and try to minimize the number of tickets that get put on the secondary market. We aren't sure if there's a perfect way to navigate this, but certainly not allowing for a conversation, blah, blah, blah. This is the article. So Paul wrote this morning, I was like, I saw that headline. I was like, this has to be fake news.
So
like,
he got the boot because he was reselling them?
Yeah. Detroit Lions. So this is what Paul wrote this morning. Detroit Lions have revoked my season tickets. Like other pro teams, the Lions have a rule that as a season ticket holder, you can't sell over a certain percentage of your tickets on the secondary market. Did I sell over that number? Yes, I broke the rule. But this isn't new. It's been in place for a while, even during the tough years, yet it was never enforced then. For anyone who doesn't know how I always end up in the first row, I use my extra tickets to help cover the cost of that premium seat to make it to every Lions game. I fly in from Philadelphia, stay in a Detroit hotel, support local coffee shops, restaurants, Ubers, small shops, and even buy Detroit memorabilia. Last year alone, my travel and all that cost me $55,000. I'm as devoted a fan as they come. I'm at the stadium 2 hours early cheering on our players during warmups. Sure, some say I'm holding up other fans from getting tickets, and I'm not denying that completely. But why wasn't there an issue when I had 8 tickets back when the Lions were averaging only 5 wins in a season? Why revoke my tickets now after I've lost thousands every year? I understand all three sides here. My perspective, the Lions business side, and the fans who can't get tickets. My real issue is how this was handled. A few months ago when I missed a payment, someone from the Lions called me immediately to figure out what happened. They had the time to call when money was owed, but they couldn't call me to discuss why I was forced to sell some extra tickets to offset costs. No conversation, no chance to reach a resolution, just a curt email questioning my integrity. As a business owner, I treat my clients with respect, and I expected the same courtesy. The Lions essentially gave me the middle finger. Greed is a dangerous game to play.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. You're a season ticket holder through work.
I'd be so pissed.
Oh, can you imagine? Like,
I'd be so pissed. And here's the thing that the Lions don't understand is at no point did someone sit down and go, the PR of this is going to be worse than us working this out with this guy. Like, this is not going to be good PR for us. And we're going to take a really big hit when this story inevitably makes it into the news, which it did. And they are going to take a big hit. And I have a feeling that they'll probably offer him his seats back at some point because, like,
I hope so.
And like he said, I have a lot of respect for him to go, I broke the rule. I can see all three sides here, but he's absolutely right. Especially seems like he's a level-headed person. You know, he's not going 100%. Like, oh, these motherfuckers, you know, they're just wrong and I'm right and blah, blah, blah. It seems like he's level-headed. So had they gone to him and said, hey, we've noticed this trend on your account. You can't do it anymore. I know we used to allow you to do it when the team sucked, but the team sucked then. So they don't suck now. We want you to still be able to go to the games. You can't do it anymore. And if he then continues to do it, then you get rid of his season tickets. But especially somebody who's been there through I could also see if he's had tickets for like a year and he's doing that. But he's had tickets for 15
I'm sorry, you
years.
Cut out there, Amy. Yeah, 25 years.
Oh, 25. If he had only been there a year or two, I could also see like, no, screw you. But you're a loyal member, a loyal ticket member. Those are not cheap. He goes to, people know who he is. It just seems like a really bad way to handle it.
And legit fan. There's a few of them, like Paul from the Hangmen is the guy that waves the skeleton in the end zone. He's been doing that for as long as I remember. You know, we used to hang out with him. These are guys that go there, you know, for the Thanksgiving game, show up at 5 a.m. and are cooking 12 turkeys and feeding everyone around. Like, they're super fans, super invested. I know this happens with the attitude of these franchises, not to pick on our teams, because I know that this is common around the league, where they're offering you when, I had season tickets to the Tigers for a minute. They gave them to the morning show, and Mark and I used them. So when I say our season tickets, we weren't, and it was probably, I don't know, $1,000 a year and for games in the outfield. And we would just go, we were in our 20s. We didn't give a shit how to work at 10 and go have some beers in the outfield. And, I totally remember the days of like, buy one, get one free, buy one, get 4 free games, buy one ticket and get free food, like anything to get bodies in those seats. And then the Tigers got good.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, we'll take an extra $5 million and
Right.
like they don't give a shit anymore. So those people that have stuck in for decades of garbage Lions franchises, when it's like, oh, you go test drive a car and get free tickets to the Lions game. It's like, these are the guys you're going to fuck with, the ones that, you know what I mean? And almost to your point, okay, yeah, Johnny Come Lately bought season tickets last season and he's kind of breaking the rules already. Bounce him. But what's going on here is there's probably now a list. Right?
I was just going to say that. There is a long list now of people that want tickets who aren't going to break the rules.
Yeah. So what do you think of that? Like, if you're selling the season tickets.
Also, I will say, hang on really quick. I will say, I bet they can sell them to somebody else for more than what they're charging him, because you're only raising somebody's season ticket prices so much. You're not necessarily raising them to what they would be if you were selling them fresh to someone. You know what I mean? Like, because he was probably at a very low price at one point, and you can only slowly increase that cost.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, but I bet they can resell them for much more than what he was paying.
Yeah. Well, I know I was supposed to meet up with him at the the Monday night game, the Niners Lions in San Francisco. I was like, hey, are you going to the game? And he's like, fuck yeah. And like, he was coming in 3 days early. He already had a hotel. He was either staying in Big Sur, which is a couple hours south on the coast, or wine country. He was either going to be in Napa. He didn't know yet, but he'd already booked flights and everything. And then there was a family emergency and he had to cancel like day of, like when he was like, my guess is he ate thousands of dollars in whatever booking had already occurred and had to cancel. But I don't know. I mean, I guess there's probably good reason, if it's just like, well, now we've jacked the price. It doesn't mean the season ticket holders don't get the jacked price. They're not grandfathered in at some low price, so why do they give a shit what you do at the end of the day with your ticket? Like, if it's like, I have 8 season tickets, that's got to be common. You can't go to every game. You certainly can't get 7 people to go with you all the time. And you would have given away fucking half the building to have someone buy those seats when you were garbage. So I don't know.
Right. That sucks. That I would be so freaking pissed. Oh my God. I'd be so mad.
Especially if they're good for any length of time. Like, good luck getting decent seats for the 49ers or the Cowboys or the Packers, where it could be 50 years before you get an opportunity. Like, you get it. And the fact is, his seats are lower bowl, 16 rows off the field. Like, you're talking about back of the line shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking out of my ass here, but
that's crazy. I would be so mad. And like, I as a season ticket holder, I've been a season ticket holder for like over a decade. I've never seen any communication that's like, hey, we have this rule that you can only resell. In fact, like, if they make it so easy for you to resell them secondarily on a secondary market, like, it's right there within Ticketmaster. You can resell them on the secondary market. Like, there's no like, don't sell your tickets on this. It's like, hey, here's a secondary market if you want to sell them. That's honestly, this is news to me that there's a limit on that. I had no idea.
Should we call him really quick?
Sure.
Are you in a hurry?
No.
Let's call him. I don't even know if he'll answer the phone, but I think this should work. I've got this kind of jerry rigged, but why don't we call him and just see? Because I'm wondering if there's more to the story. You know what I mean? Like, if they were irritated with all the FaceTime he was getting on TV, and it's like,
I would think that would be good for them. They would be like
you would think.
thanking him.
Let's see if this.
Hello,
Paul.
yes.
Hey, buddy, it's Mike Walters.
Hey, whatever.
How you doing, bud? I'm on the show live right now, and so are you.
All right.
So I didn't want to bombard you. Amy is here as well. We just wrapped the show with Drew, and I've been talking about the Facebook post I saw this morning involving you with season tickets on the Lions, and I figured, fuck it, let's blow in a call to Paul and see if he's around. So, how are you feeling right now, buddy?
I mean, like, listen, I'm as diehard as they come. I'm hurt, but I'm also not arrogant, or I'm not like I get it. Like, I get that there's a rule. Like, I was aware of this rule. I know, I had 76ers season tickets too. They had the rule. So this rule is there, but this rule's been around for years. And can
I ask you a quick question about that? Like, how have they
go to games cost me a lot of money. Now, my point was the Lions. It's just call me. Call us. Don't send an email. Say, hey, listen, why were you selling these last 2 years tickets online? We see your track record the last 2 years is different from other years. Let's have a conversation about it. This is what irritates me actually the most. I have this many tickets now, and I'm actually was willing to let some go because it's honestly a hassle to have this many tickets, 8, and I don't need 8 tickets anymore. I don't. But because of an incident that happened in 2021 with me, or 2022 at a Lions game, I sat row 1, and I actually enjoyed it. So I started buying back in. Well, this year finally, a friend of mine was willing to sell me his tickets row 1, and the Lions called when I found out they took my tickets. I called to ask them, will I at least be able to transfer those 2 row 1 tickets in my name? And I was told no. That I can't have season tickets. So it's just it's almost like you're giving me the middle finger, and maybe they're gonna call and make it right, or at least have a conversation with me, and that's all I'm asking for. But just to kick me to the curb, is wrong. And I'm not trying to compare myself, Mike, to other fans, because people live locally. But for the city of Detroit, I'm your perfect fan, and this is why. I travel from Philly to the game. I don't stay with my family who live. My parents live in Shelby Township. My sister lives in Rochester. My other sister lives in Milford. I have friends all over. I book a hotel in downtown. I walk the streets of downtown. I go to the coffee shops in downtown during game weekends. I buy memorabilia because I'm the most proudest Detroit person when I come back to Philly. I pour all my money back into the city, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
So it's like they're I have no idea. Listen, I don't want to badmouth them. I love them.
Yeah.
And I also feel that I fell into this computer system, right? You just say, guy, you got red flagged. Who knows who even knows about it? But the problem is I'm trying to talk to someone, and no one will talk to me. Besides, my ticket rep is listen, I did everything I can for you. I forwarded to leadership. That's all I could do for you. Good luck.
Hold on 1 second, Paul. I want to see if you can hear Amy. I'm sorry, I've got kind of a jerry rig set up here in this studio.
Yeah. I saw it online. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Amy. Ask a question.
Hello.
Let me hear Paul. Can you hear her?
Can you hear me, Paul?
Can you hear her?
I don't think
I can't. No.
Well, Mike, ask him how he was made aware of that rule, because I had no idea.
She's asking how you were made aware of that rule, because she's a season ticket holder as well, and she wasn't even aware.
So an email did go out. I actually emailed the Lions yesterday, asking them where did they send that email. My Donald guy, I never got it. It's pretty much the email basically states it's a letter saying that the Lions did an internal investigation of your season tickets. And you broke the rule, and that they're choosing not to renew your season tickets. That's what a few people have gotten. I don't know where it is. I emailed them yesterday asking them where did they send that email, because I don't want to miss any communication with them in case someone reaches out to me. But I haven't heard back. At this point, I just think that I'm going to be ignored.
Well, I look at this, you're not going to find a better fan than you. I've known you forever. You and I bonded over the Lions.
Yeah.
When I first met you, it was like, holy shit, this hairstylist knows more about the Lions than the fucking beat reporters. That's how we connected. And I see you at every game. The cameras catch you. M Live put your picture everywhere. Like, you didn't just pick a random fan out of the building and go, you broke a rule, get out of here, you. Like, you literally took one of the people that is promoted weekly by the NFL.
Yeah. Mike, they use me, like, not use me. I'm proud that they use me, but like player introductions, they come out, they have clips of me cheering on. Yeah. Like with Sunday Night Football against the Rams with my what's her name? Who sings it? Oh my God, the artist who sings the song. They have me on there, and it's like, and all that. I'm proud to be that. I'm proud that I cheer and cheer them on, and I still want to going forward. You know, because it's a love for them. It's not like, you know, I feel like we're letting a little bit of an argument here, and this easily can be settled. You know, and I don't need my 8 tickets, but like, don't treat me like you're like, you know, I'm not a ticket broker. You know, I'm not some kind of ticket agency, and that's what this rule is meant for. You know, I'm not a ticket broker,
right?
And you're treating me like I'm a ticket broker. You know, so
do you think there's anything, because Paul, you've had tickets long enough, and Amy and I were talking. I'm sorry you can't hear her, but we. You know, I've had some experience. You know, Drew's had season tickets to everything forever, and we're all aware there's rules. And when there are shitty teams, let's be honest, when the Tigers are garbage, the Lions are winning 3 games a year, those people reach out to you and are begging you.
100%.
And then the second they get good, where it's like, oh, now there's interest, now there's a wait, now there's a line. All of a sudden, it's like that attitude of that personal relationship you have with the guy that's like, what can we do to sweeten the pot this year? How about free food for half the season? Oh my God. It seems like it's almost taken advantage, and that's not a Lions thing. That's league wide. That happens
league wide. The Phillies did that to me in Philadelphia. I'm a Tigers fan, but we had a Phillies package, and when the Phillies traded away Rollins and all these guys, a lot of season tickets left, and all of a sudden, like 3 years later, they're offering free stuff. Hey, come back. We're sorry. It's different. I didn't work here when we worked here. I'm sure, I bet you that if something happened to Lions season ticket holders drop, like, they would be reaching out and like 8 years from me now, like, hey, listen, would love to have you back. We're sorry that happened. Those people aren't here anymore. We want to make this right. Here's a stupid hot dog, like whatever. Like, but you know, I'm that fan that stuck with them. You know, I had season tickets at 16 years old. I couldn't have them in my name, but at 19 or 20, whatever, they're officially in my name. I got to put them in. And I've been going into that stadium, good, bad, wherever I live, traveling in town, rooting for them. I don't go in drunk at the game. Well, at least not anymore. I go in 2 hours before. I'm in my seat, waving my flag, cheering the players on while they're warming up. Yeah. Like, and that's it. You know, and I treat opposing fans good. I don't get into it with opposing fans. I believe that a visiting fan, when they come into your stadium, you should treat them like a guest in your house. Like, I really do believe I'm one of the A+, like fans for the NFL. Yeah. And you just pretty much said, see ya. But Mike, I do got to get going though.
Okay.
But you got me in the middle of a haircut here.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry. But I'd be more than happy to talk about, when I say this too, like, dude, like, I love them. And just do it right. But like, have a conversation here with me, you know, and talk to me. And you know, that's all it takes here. And this, no rule is like set in stone. You're breaking out. Like, what, you know, what gets me to question? I mean, what questions me is, who wants my tickets? Like, I'll tell you, Mike, who wants these tickets? Because I don't believe they're giving these tickets to like a small person and say, oh, I want tickets. Like, this is what the fans might think. I really think like more corporations and big corporate people want tickets, and they need to figure out how to get them tickets.
And they're, you know, my guess is they're lower level tickets.
Yeah.
16 rows off the field. No, it's not lost on me, Paul. And I appreciate the time, but it's, dude, it's very, I don't even know how to say it, but the last thing I want to ask you, and I'll let you go. I'm sorry, buddy. Is there anything possible? Like, people love the pictures. You bring your dog, your fiance. Congratulations, by the way. Like, is there anything, because there's some fans that get ahead of themselves and think they're part of the show a little too much into themselves and
Yeah.
cause a little problem. And it's like, oh, this fucking guy again.
Yeah.
Can you think of anything where it's like, yeah, they kind of were looking for a reason to boot me?
No, I don't think they would be using me on like promo like all like the videos and coming out. Like, dude, their PR team just sent me a video, a 4-minute video from me all year long, like cheering on the Lions. They say, hey, we made this little cool clip for you. I'm going to send this to you. They literally last week that someone in the PR team emailed me this, but they email the ticket. There's no communication. Like, I don't even think they really know who they kicked out.
Yeah.
Like right now, like I really don't. Like that.
I'd be emailing the PR team.
I don't think they don't. And maybe it'll get back to someone's like, oh shit, like we kicked out a Die Hard. But we'll see. Michael, listen, I'll catch up anytime and hop back on with you to talk.
Yeah, no, you've been great, Paul. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to bother you. See you, buddy.
Of course.
Bye. Sorry, Amy. That sucks.
No, that's okay.
Something for A-Rod. I really wanted you to talk to him there. He's probably right that they don't even realize.
Yeah, I would be emailing that PR team 100%.
100%.
Like, hey, PR, guess what's not going to be good PR for you? This.
And I know when you have season tickets and you go to stuff, and maybe you've experienced this, Amy, they kind of reference this in Fever Pitch, the Drew Barrymore movie with Jimmy Fallon, that those season ticket holders and the surrounding seats become very close. They become almost like family members, living and dying by the team. Like, those are the people you cannot afford to lose. Right. Those are the ones that are going to keep buying when you do suck, which let's be honest, the Lions did for many, many years. Like, those fans around him that dress up and show up. I can think of people right now that I see them post pictures with Paul every week.
Yeah.
And they know each other. Those fans, my guess, are waking up this morning hearing this news and are going to go, are you shitting me right now? That's going to be felt like a brother getting wronged.
Yeah. Yeah. I have half a mind to email my ticket rep about it. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
I'll tweet at the Lions.
Dude, you have enough followers on Twitter that could actually get their attention.
Although I don't know if it's great PR for them to be responding to MAGA Barbie.
True. But writing an email though, hey, send them this clip.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. We'll go out on that. But I'm glad he answered the phone and took a couple minutes. That was really cool. And I feel bad. Like, there are season ticket holders I've known over the years that can't wait to get sloppy drunk in the stands and yell and scream and fuck with other fans. And it's like, that guy got the boot. Yeah, I don't blame him. For those that don't know, Paul, used to drink. He wasn't crazy, but he, a few years ago, decided, I'm done. I'm not drinking anymore. And has kind of documented his journey with that. And it's been a few years of sobriety for him. He is not the loudmouth, asshole, drunken, stupid fan at stands. So that's why I asked him that question. Like, is there anything like,
Yeah, right.
Was there something else? Yeah. Is there something else? And, it doesn't surprise me that he goes, no, that's the dude I've known for many years. Is exactly what he portrayed there. But
I just feel like this is some obscure rule that's listed like deep in the small print somewhere on our season tickets, and that it's not communicated with us until you break it.
Yeah. And the other thing is, when you talk about equal justice, damn well, there's no question it happens all the time that people, hey, I got into a pinch, and you can sell those tickets with a hot team and supplement your income. Like, that's going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't act like that's a rule that everybody's not breaking.
Yeah. And like, I gave them to a client one time, and my client sold them because he didn't end up going. Like, he's like, I just ended up selling them. I'm like, okay, whatever. But and
for them right now, they're in the window of like, you can do that. Like, last minute for the Lions, you can get hundreds of dollars probably for a ticket.
Yeah.
Where last minute, like, you could never do that before. It was like, last minute, you're sticking me with tickets, and I can't go now. What do you give them away?
Yeah, and the teams don't want opposing fans buying them. I think that's probably what it is. But still, I mean, what the fuck? It just seems like a weird rule.
All right, we've gone late, but let's wrap up with this. How did you feel with Drew?
Oh, it was good. Were you
happy?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It was interesting hearing like, what stuck out to him is, I mean, it sounds like on balance. I mean, he knows the case and he knows what went on. I mean, he subscribes more weight to certain things than I do, but
Yep.
everybody's different. It's just interesting. And it'll be interesting for the second trial. Sorry if my mic was fucked up a little bit. I saw somebody made a comment, but I had made an
Oh.
adjustment because I couldn't hear Drew at first, but then I didn't
Oh.
turn it back, so I think I was like coming in too hot. But I ended up
There was
adjusting it like
something,
halfway through.
Drew, there was something there with his setup and mic. I hope it wasn't bothering. I didn't see the chats, but
Yeah,
I hope it was
but
okay.
no,
I
it
think
was
I
good.
think it was. Yeah, he's fun. He's
He is fun.
yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And tomorrow I'm excited. We'll have Dave Landau
Yes,
coming to us
three
live from
3 o'clock.
Vegas. Yeah, 3 o'clock your time.
Okay,
I believe that's right. So yeah, I'm trying to keep Mountain
I
West
probably won't
and
remember, but
yeah.
I will do my
Um,
best.
yeah, you stoners are all the same. Don't no, I'll communicate with you in the morning. We'll
Yeah. Okay.
get on point. But have a great rest of the day. Thank you so
Thanks.
much,
You too.
James. Yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Send an email. Tell us what you thought. Walters@detroitcast.com. And we'll leave it at that. See you guys.